Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, May 28th. Friendly reminder, the markets are closed on Monday for Memorial Day. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will still be moving around and changing. That is because the market is still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ONMD. Did this one in yesterday's top 10 analysis, and overall, another huge explosion. So what I'm going to do here is just actually get rid of these past lines here if they serve their purpose for now and map out a couple of these new areas. So newest level here would just be basically the bottom part of this pullback location right here at $1.85. So green for support there. So $1.85, bottom part of this consolidation area. And then as far as resistance lines are concerned, have an area of resistance right there. So if you prefer to more look at patterns, have an area of resistance, have that area of support, have the upwards move right here, put the golf hole down here to make it a little bit more visual. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, is it plausible? Is it valid to think that if the price can come up here and push up through that level, that line in of itself could create enough momentum and enough kind of self-fulfilling prophecy, energy in the upwards direction? That is certainly a plausible conclusion. So if you like to play bull pennants, you like this price range down below the $5 mark, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, LUCY, penny stock here that went absolutely bonkers today. Got up over $1 for a while. So point here being, got to think a lot of eyeballs are going to be watching this one because that's what you need for this price range. You need a whole lot of volume, and that is exactly what happened here today. So let's map out some levels of support and resistance. First level, as far as resistance, very straightforward, nothing complicated here. Basic logic of answering a simple question. Where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up there at $1.13. So like I said, no fancy reasoning other than just that's where the party stopped. So $1.13 will be that initial area of resistance right there. In terms of levels of support, there's a nice little consolidation area right down here at the 65-cent mark. You can see here that was a former area of resistance. And then just classic technical analysis, when levels of resistance are broken, you want to see them act as support. And it happened basically 3 times in a row right there. So any sort of pullback, 65 cents definitely looks like an interesting level there. But really, it's as straightforward as that. Now, if the price pulls back a little bit, you could get a nice little bull flag pattern. So you'd have a little bit of a channel there. You'd have that upwards movement right there. So there could be a bull flag pattern within kind of a bigger overall context there. But like I said, at the core, the main recipe and ingredients are here. Big volume, big volatility. So let's see how this one plays out next week. Next one, MARA, and I like this one because it's pretty straightforward in terms of the key level, at least in my opinion, to watch from a breakout standpoint. And that sits right here at the 2160 mark. Going back here, you can see that right there, 2160 rejected the price. And then today, yeah, the price got slightly above it, but momentum disappeared very quickly and back down it went. So that'll certainly be the main area of resistance. And then along with this, keep an eye on that pink line down there, which on my chart represents a very famous 200-period moving average. And then just to convert this into a pattern and keep it all one color. So we have our resistance up here that I talked about. And then let's use this moving average as another trend line. So we have this quote-unquote trend line moving upwards like this. And now what we have here is an ascending triangle pattern. So ascending triangle is one of my favorites. I always think that they're worth keeping an eye on. Of course, they're not guaranteed to work. Nothing is guaranteed to work, but they are one of my favorite patterns. So if you like this price range, you like ascending triangles, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, GWAV, and all things considered, a fine day. It's not like, what would have been really bad is not necessarily a price going down, but just huge volume and then a price going down. So yes, volume, no doubt about it, very, very low, but the price just went sideways. So that tells you that people are not losing interest. It's not like people are saying, well, this thing's not moving anymore, I'm out of here, because if a bunch of people leave, that would increase volume. So sure, to be fair, because that's a two-sided coin, there's not a whole bunch of people rushing in and saying, I want to buy, I want to buy, I want to buy. But like I said, two-sided coin, that also implies that there's a lot of people that aren't just bailing and giving up or anything like that. People are holding. Now, you just want to be very careful because if volume remains this low for too long, people will lose interest. People will say, no, what? Look at that stock. Look at that other stock. They're all moving. And I'm sitting here watching paint dry. So you don't want volume to remain low for too long. But overall, Good to see that the price is at least just going sideways with that lower volume. In terms of areas of support, nothing new here to report from the previous video I did. Still going to be that green line right there at 0.0725. And then in terms of areas of resistance, yeah, you have this overarching level up here at 12 cents, but you could also draw in a little trend line right there. But in my opinion, top priority right now is just maintaining that area of support and ensuring that people don't lose interest. Next one, FFIE, and this is why I like to do these when the market is still open, because check it out. Last 30 minutes here, good solid green candle. It's currently doing battle with our initial area of resistance to talk about, and that is that purple line there, 50 period moving average. You can see earlier on in the day, it did reject the price back downwards, and as of right now, has once again rejected the price. But like I said, as I speak, the price is doing battle with it, so we'll see if the price can break up through there. If it does, then the next immediate area of resistance you'd want to turn your attention to up here at $1.47. So keep an eye on that level, but also one hurdle at a time. And that first key hurdle right here, 50 period moving average. In terms of levels of support, good solid day. So far, so good. The price has continued to maintain above that area of support right there, that trend line. But then the much more important level of support, which the price isn't anywhere close to, would be down here, that second green line at the 90-cent mark. But like I said, all things considered, good solid movement today. Very, very impressive last 30 minutes. So we'll see if this momentum carries into next week. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering next week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to get signed up. Or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage you can use to get signed up. But yeah, there will be a live question and answer. So bring your questions and answers and we'll have a great discussion. Next one here, AMC. And all things considered, it's just very choppy right now. But going back to the whole talking point of ascending triangles, we once again have an ascending triangle. So let me get the lower part of it, change that to green, and then the upper part of it. See right there at 517. So right here is the ascending triangle. You can see that every single time it gets rejected, it keeps putting in these higher lows. And the easiest way to see the higher lows is just via that trend line right there. So it's really as straightforward as that. If you like ascending triangles, you like this price range, and of course it is AMC, a cult stock, and these cult stocks can really make big moves, but it's really as straightforward as that. Cult stock with a nice ascending triangle pattern. So if you like these sets of circumstances, then yeah, maybe worth keeping an eye on. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and overall very, very solid day today. After a very rough day on Thursday, has had a good solid bounce. Yes, there's still work that needs to be done, but much better than having this continue on down through that area of support down there at 172.75, which is still an ideal overall key level of support, but a preferable level. I mean, hey Clay, what would make this chart now look the absolute best moving forward? And that would be if the price can stay above that pink line there, 200 period moving average at 176.50. Now, don't get me wrong. If the price falls below it, that doesn't mean the entire chart's epically destroyed. But yeah, if the price could stay above it, that would certainly be preferable and make it look the strongest moving forward. And then, of course, if that level doesn't hold, then that 172.75 mark becomes a much more important level. In terms of levels of resistance, key level here initially at 180.30, and then I'm going to add in one more too. We'll call it a resistance zone, with that next level being right there at 182. So 180.30 up to 182 going to be essentially a little bit of a resistance zone right here. So we'll see if Tesla can build upon this bounce today. But yeah, got to give credit where credit's due. Good solid day. Next one, AMD, and like Tesla, good solid bounce. Did this one previously, so that's where the first update comes into play, and that's just based on a rule that states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So from red to green here, and that would definitely be one of those ideal levels of support. Now, best case scenario would be if the price can stay above the purple line there, 50 period moving average at 164.75. But if it doesn't quite hold up, then yeah, 162.65 would be the next level. But what I would call a muscle level would once again be that 200 period moving average down there. Price isn't anywhere close to it. So I'm not saying it's, threatening to be broken or anything like that, but that's where I'd keep an eye in terms of the areas of resistance or support. And then as far as areas of resistance are concerned, first key level right there at 169. And if there can be a high volume break of that level, then of course, no guarantees, but I could see it very realistically going back up there, testing those highs, and who knows, maybe even getting up through there. But the key, premise there is that it's got to have a high volume break of that level right there. But yeah, all things considered, how rough it was looking on Thursday for AMD, good solid bounce today. Next one, NCPL. Very, very ugly looking chart here, but for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. And the fact of the matter is that even with this nasty, nasty pullback, the price is still in an overall uptrend. What gives me the right to say that? Well, let's look at our 50-period moving average. You can see that it's got an upward slope to it, and the price has done a fantastic job of maintaining above it. But what makes this interesting is nasty, nasty pullback. So my question is, does it go down a little bit more? Does it hit that purple line, and then does history repeat itself? Like it's, done there, there's a bounce, there's another bounce. No, maybe it doesn't. Maybe this thing keeps bleeding. That's why risk management is important. But that is a two-sided coin because, well, maybe it does bounce, and then you're looking at a very nice situation there. So if you like these sorts of situations where things are certainly looking ugly, but there can still potentially be a turnaround point, and if you like penny stocks, certainly keep an eye on this one. Next one, TQQQ. Very nice recovery today. Absolutely brutal day yesterday with the downwards pressure, but got the bounce. So first key update, as I've said, and levels of resistance are broken and closed above. You want to see them act as support. So now moving forward, 64.43 has gone back to being that key area of support. You can see actually this morning it was being very, very annoying, but it did hold strong. You also have that purple line right there. So basically a little miniature support zone right there. So that would be the ideal level. What you certainly don't want to see happen is the price to go down and revisit the 62.79 mark, because that would at that point imply that this very, very impressive bounce here has completely failed. And assuming you're bullish, you don't want to see really impressive movements fail to that effect. In terms of levels of resistance, what I'm going to do here is drawing a little bit of trend line here because it's looking like that's going to be essentially a very key level right there. Give or take, right around that trend line looks to be the key breakout point. And if there can be a high volume break of that level, then it seems reasonable that the price could at minimum get up to that high right there, if not even push up through it. For you Bitcoin traders, I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second. But for you stock traders, again, go get signed up for this free class. It'll be next week, Thursday, May 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And like I said, there will be a live question and answer. So bring your questions and we'll talk about them and have a good discussion. Now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. We are now looking at the 4-hour time frame. So each one of these candlesticks is not 30 minutes, it is 4 hours, and that is because Bitcoin is open 24/7. So I want this video to remain relevant for as long as possible. And I'm just going to operate on the premise that you're watching this, let's call it Sunday afternoon. So you're watching this a couple days from after I get it uploaded. So question number one, you need to ask yourself as the price comes up very, very nicely is let's just make sure that this thing hasn't, failed and fallen apart. And that would be defined as, well, question number one, where is the price at relative to 65,850? If you're answering the question that the price is down below that level, that means that this very nice movement here has not only stopped going up and not only stopped or come all the way back down, but actually broken to new lows. Not a good sign. If you are answering the question that the price is down below that level, next immediate question, okay, well, where's the price at relative to that pink line there? 200 period moving average, so valued at 64,000, let's just call it 100. If you're saying that the price is down below there, that's telling you that no matter when you're watching this, whether it's several hours from now or a couple of days from now, Bitcoin is having a very, very bad weekend because, again, this move has come up here and completely failed. You're probably not answering it that way, but like I said, I just want to make sure you walk yourself through the questions here. Now, if you're saying, well, yes, Clay, the price is still above here. Okay, next immediate question, where's the price at relative to that trend line right there? If you're saying, actually, Clay, the price is up above there, great. How far up above it? And the further up above it is, the stronger the breakout has become. So very straightforward and simplistic with that logic. Higher the price is above that red line, the stronger the breakout has become. Maybe you're saying, well, no, Clay, the price is up above here, but it is still down below here. At that point, you just basically have a big picture bull pennant pattern because you would essentially have the price below there, but it'd be up above here. If I do this very crudely, you'd still just be within the context of a bull pennant pattern. So walk yourself through those questions, and that will keep Bitcoin and the technical chart relevant all weekend long. As I invited the stock traders, I need to invite you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader because what you learn about in the class can and definitely should be used within your trading also. So it'll be next week, Thursday, May 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And like I said, there will be a question and answers. So bring your questions and we'll talk about it. As far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, hit that like button, leave a comment below. If you have a request for the next top 10, leave that down in the comment section. And I'll do my best to incorporate that for the next one. So go get signed up for that free class. Have a great weekend and happy Memorial Day, everybody.